Alright, greetings y'all. This is Dane DM back here with another game. This week we're gonna jump into Minecraft Dungeons and I'm gonna give you guys a rundown on how to do the tower that is currently available. I've got a 100% effective guide that will allow you to beat the nameless one at the end of the tower every time you do it. So strap in here. This isn't going to take very long. Won't be that long of a video. But this will help everybody out there get some better gear. So if you haven't done Tower before, it is single player. The equipment that you have on your character does not matter. And this current tower is available for the next 11 days. Today is the 13th of May in the United States. So 11 days, 12 hours. You should hit this up. It is a quick way to get much better gear. So the very first thing to know is that there is a way to exploit the level so that you do not have to fight mobs. And it seems that every week people on Reddit or other Minecraft Dungeoneers aficionados are figuring this out and putting things out there on where to or how to do this. However, the equipment and where to pick up stuff portion of this guide is all my own. So first things first, we start out on floor 70. You will start out with some basic gear. It is based on your level. So currently I am running a level 70 set of gear. However, your power rating and your the level of your physical gear may be different. That is okay. This is really dependent on the items that you pick up as you are going through the tower. So the objective is to reach the end, kill the boss, claim the goodies. You will always get something of the maximum, highest possible quality that you can receive as a reward for the difficulty setting that you are currently have available. So let's jump into this. Floor number 1. It is important that you go right here to this space and you do not proceed further towards the right until you complete this jump. We are going to dodge roll across the way, and it is a little bit of a challenging jump, so you likely are going to fall into the pit a few couple times. But as you will see, we're going to respawn right there, and we're going to be able to do it again. And there's no mobs spawning, so we don't have any type of minions to deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do this until I make the jump. I'm not quite sitting in my normal spot here because I wanted to be a little closer to the computer. So my perspective is just a little different. There we go. Alright, so once you make this jump, don't proceed in further into the area. You're going to go right back across the bridge, and you're going to go in the door. And with that little exploit, you don't have to fight any mobs. Although there are some things that are still hostile in the environment that you need to plan for. So in order to make this work, save your enchantment points or your enhancement points. We're going to just about always go for the additional point. So I'm just going to start making my way through this, and you'll see it is pretty quick to do this repeatedly. And we're just going to go from one level to the next, and we're going to pick up things. So while we are making our way through here, it is important to know that Tower gives you the opportunity to upgrade your equipment in a couple different ways at certain levels. And in this particular tower, those levels are level 8 for a unique smith, level 15 for a guild smith, and level 23 for a power smith. And I will explain what all of those are when we get up to them. But the very first piece of equipment that we want to pick up is going to be, is coming up here. So it is going to be, it's going to be on level 6 here, which is this swampy level. And we're just going to make our way over to the door here. And I would recommend that you guys pick up the champion's armor at level 80. The reason that we're doing this is that pretty quickly we are going to be hitting the unique smith, so we need a piece of gear that we can enchant. And it helps to have a little bit more survivability for about mid-tower when you're dealing with some of the jungle levels. You'll see what I mean. So we're going to go ahead and grab the champion's armor, and you can go ahead and enchant cooldown. You want to ignore all the other things, but cooldown is going to be very useful to us in a moment. We are here on level 7 now. So champion's armor, get the cooldown enchantment. And we are not using it just yet. I'm gonna turn my map on here so I can see what I'm doing. This area has tricked me several times. You gotta go over there and click a button in the little cemetery, and then you walk up this way. There will be a little gate right here if you don't. And we are on to our next level. Alright, so first merchant floor. When you use the unique smith, which is the guy here, he will turn one of your equipped pieces of equipment into the unique version of it. And it usually will increase its value a little bit. Now, we are going to be replacing the sword, and we're going to be replacing the bow. So generally, I suggest that your best option is to go with the champion's armor and just go ahead and get the slightly better options on it. We are still going to be trading it out, so it's not particularly important if you want to use the unique smith on one of the other items. However, we will not be keeping the sword or this armor until the end. And the bow, there is a better option. So the unique smith this week is a little bit of a throwaway. Not particularly important if you even stop by him and get one of the items upgraded. Okay, so we're going to start making our way towards level 11. Excuse me. That is the next level where we need to pick up something, so we're just going to make our way here through a couple of these, and we want to pick up those enhancement points or enchantment points with each of these levels. First, underwater level. So we're just going to run up. If you notice, your heart now has a little blue side to it. That is your oxygen. If you need to fill it up, just stand on one of these things for a moment, and it will give you more air. Those things take a second to activate, but they will fling you across. Okay, at level 11, we need to pick up the Ghost Cloak. That is going to make navigating the jungle level much easier. And since we're going to be taking this artifact all the way through to the boss, it actually gives us some defensive capability should we need it during the boss fight. So make sure that you pick up the Ghost Cloak. It is useful and important. We're going to jump right across here. We're going to stand on this thing, let it fling us, and then we're going to go right up the stairs again. Okay, we are going to make our way to level 14. That is the next one. Another reason to grab the Ghost Cloak is it does make, or since we're doing this level repeatedly, it is going to cut our travel time a little bit. We need to jump across there, hit this switch, wait for our jump to recover, and then we'll go ahead and use the Ghost Cloak to help navigate these levels while we are navigating up to level 14. Alright, next floor is level 14. Alright, so here we are, level 14. Still just making our way through things. Okay, on level 14, you want to pick up the Shadow Crossbow. If you want the additional enchantment point, you can do that. If you want a backup weapon for dealing with some of the mobs at the end, or just a good secondary weapon, the Shadow Crossbow is going to be your best option along the way. Either way, take your Shadow Crossbow or take the enchantment point. At the end of this guide, you are going to end up with either 1 or 2 enchantment points left over based on what you have selected. So right now, it doesn't really make much of a difference between which one of these you pick. But I would suggest getting the Shadow Crossbow, because our very next level is going to be the Guildsmith, and it doesn't make sense to guild either the armor or the sword because we won't be keeping them. So grab your Shadow Crossbow or the enchantment point, and then either guild your armor or guild the Shadow Crossbow. We will be taking the Shadow Crossbow to the end. We will not be taking the armor to the end, so it's probably your better option unless you really feel like you want that extra enchantment point. Okay, we're going to continue on. So level 16 is where things start getting interesting. This is why you want that slightly better armor and you want cooldown. We're just going to use our Ghost Cloak to just kind of run through these guys, and we're not going to really fight them much. We're going to try to get through them without taking too much damage. Potion there, and then we will just get right around them. So I have made it through with the level 70 armor, but it's a little bit of a challenge, and you do have to use your potions a lot. So grabbing the better champion's gear made this much easier to do, and the Ghost Cloak is also very useful for navigating through those guys. Same deal, we're just going to run through them, and we're out. Okay, level 20 is our next stop, so we're just going to navigate through some stuff here. We'll use our Ghost Cloak to keep our speed up and cut down our travel time a little bit. Grabbing those enchantment points as we're going. Okay, on to level 20. Now, it is important that you do not miss this item. You need to grab the Gong of Weakening here at the end of level 20. This will carry on through to the end boss, and it allows us to really hurt him. So we need to make certain that we pick up the Gong Awakening. It is one of the 3 most crucial items to this build. Second item, you must have the Tempest Knife here at the end of level 21. Because the end boss is the Nameless One, he is undead, and being able to put smiting on it is excellent. Plus, we're also going to gear this for Void Strike and Fire Aspect, and I'll explain why here in a moment. So make sure that you get the Tempest Knife. You will need it. It is possible to complete the tower with the chainsaw at the that you are awarded on level 29. However, this weapon synergizes much better, and you're going to take this Tempest Knife to the Powersmith, which is our next level, immediately after this. And at the Powersmith with the Tempest Knife, you want to increase the level of the Tempest Knife by the 10. You want to put the upgrade on the Tempest Knife. So that means our end goal weapon is going to be 115. If you want to use the chainsaw for whatever reason, I don't think it synergizes as well, but it is a 118 weapon, and it is feasible. It will work. However, I think this works better. So, on the Tempest Knife, we are going to be doing Fire Aspect, Smiting, and Void Strike initially. So, it is not necessary to upgrade the weapon right now. You can just hang on to your enchantment points, or you can go ahead and do it. It does not matter. The next thing that we need to pick up is on level 27, so we're going to make our way there. And we're just going to pick up enchantment points on the way. I like jumping this little gap. It's a nice little shortcut. Now, you guys may see this Soul Dancer robe and think that it's a pretty great armor. And it's okay. I've beat the end boss with using it. However, we're not picking up any artifacts that do artifact damage, and we're not picking up any artifacts that use souls. So all you're really getting from this armor is the chance to negate damage. And it does have the fire aspect on it, but there is another armor later that we are actually working our way towards picking up. So I would suggest you take the extra enchantment points for now and continue forward. And same deal here. If you are using minions, the Piglin armor is going to be your best option for an end of tower armor. Okay, I'm just going to make our way here. Getting a little bit lost because it's a little bit harder to see with the angle that I am sitting at. Alright, so this is level 27's in. We want to pick up this Emerald Grower. It is the third item that I feel is crucial to the build. And the reason that is going to be is it has that additional 25% melee attack speed, and it has Reckless and Fire Aspect. So that is what we are going to go for. So at this point, we got one item left to get, and we're going to get it right here at floor 28. We're going to get our last artifact. We're going to pick up the Ironhide Amulet. Now, I will say that this is a defensive item. It does not necessarily come into play, as you'll see when we hit the boss. But if you are a more cautious player and you want a little extra protection, you can't go better than getting the Ironhide Amulet. If you do not care about taking it, take the enchantment points. The Buzzy Nest will not be of any use. Okay, so we are on the only other floor that we are going to see some mobs. There are silverfish that will spawn up here and try to attack us. We got to get this button right here. So I'm just going to hit the button and get out because they can't keep up. Alright, so we are to floor 30. So this is our boss level. Now the boss will not spawn here just yet because we have used a exploited method to arrive here. But it is not hard to trigger him. So this is where I usually like to go ahead and upgrade my gear. You'll notice we have 49 enchantment points. We would have a solid 50 if we didn't pick up the Shadow Crossbow. So here is what we are going to be doing. The Emerald Armor has Reckless. We don't want the boss to survive long enough to be able to be a threat to us. So the reduced health for the upgraded melee damage is a strong enhancement right now. So we're going to take all 3 levels of that. We are also going to take Fire Focus because we're going to put Fire Aspect on the Tempest Knife. Again, if you are a little bit more of a defensive player, Chilling is excellent for dealing with the summoned mobs that the Nameless One will bring in. However, he likely is going to die before he gets a chance to summon them in. So if you want to save some enchantment points for your bow, this is where you're going to do it. So we will leave that for just a moment. I'm going to come back and get it, but we'll go ahead and enchant the Tempest Knife so you can see kind of what we're dealing with after the fact. Now we took Fire Aspect, or we took the Fire Synergy on the Emerald Armor. So we're going to take Fire Aspect here on the Tempest Knife so that we deal additional fire damage. The Nameless One is an undead creature, so we want to take Smiting. And it is a little bit of a toss-up about whether or not you should take Unenchanting or Void Strike. We have tested this with a friend that has tested this with me. We did not feel that Unenchanting made as much of a difference as we thought it would. And we are not killing something else before we hit the Nameless One. So we're going to take Void Strike for the extra shadow damage, or that extra void buff that it applies. And as you can see, we do have 10 enchantment points left that we could put into some of these abilities. The Shadow Crossbow does repeatedly shoot, so I would recommend Critical Hit if you are wanting something there. Power is also really good, but I will leave that choice up to you. I am going to go with Chilling, even though I likely do not need it. And that leaves us with 1 additional enchantment point. Alright, to get to the boss, you will see he didn't spawn, and we cannot travel. So we are going to leave the tower, and that will cost us 1 of our lives that we have in order to complete the tower. So if you've died twice, you're not going to be able to finish the tower. But hopefully you've been following my guide and you have made it to the end with all 3 lives, and sacrificing 1 life is really not that big a deal. So once we're back to camp, we are just going to go right back to tower. I'm accessing it through the map instead of running over there, and we're just going to hit continue. And this will allow the boss to spawn. Alright, so here we are. We are completely ready to go. So let's go crush him. So I'm just going to run over here and start hitting. I should be pretty close to where I need to be. And I'm going to hit my Gonga weakness as soon as he spawns. And you're gonna die. And he didn't even get a chance to finish summoning his mobs. And that is what we're hoping for. So now we can go over and finish the tower and claim the juicy loot here at the end. I happen to be getting 174 items. Oh man, a cursed axe. It's one of my favorite items. Yeah, I don't even need to know what's there. That is what we're taking. All right, well, hopefully this guide was to good use to all of you out there as you go dungeoneering. I don't make a whole lot of how-to videos, but I feel like this is a pretty good one. Please share it around and collaborate with your friends. I'd love to grow a little bit of some channels. Please follow if you appreciated this walkthrough about how to do this. And I am a variety streamer, so I tend to make content for a lot of different games. So this is Dane DM, and I'm out. Y'all have a good day.